So Mark Gurman has given us a full rundown of the M2 Max we should expect to launch this year, so let's delve into it. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours, and with that being said, let's just tuck in. So let's first delve into the M2 MacBook Air, because I'm sure many of you guys are eagerly waiting for this MacBook. So this is going to be the biggest refresh out of all the M2 Max. We're seeing a completely new design that's going to be thinner and also lighter, so this is finally going to be an Air-like product once again. And while the design should be very similar to the 24-inch iMac, so fun colours and also white bezels. And talking about the bezels, we are going to see a notch on this. So yeah, this should be very similar to the MacBook Pros we saw in October. We should also get the same mini LED panels, but without ProMotion. As for other changes, things we saw with the M1 Max and MacBook Pros are coming down to this new Air, so that means a new FaceTime camera on the front, better speakers, and also the full-size function row. And of course, inside we should see the M2 chip, which is going to be very similar to the M1 but with a higher clock speed due to it being based on A15 cores, and also we could see a jump from 8 to 10 GPU cores. And yes, in case you're wondering, we should see a binned version of that, so expect the base version of the M2 Air to have 9 cores, and then the full fat M2 chip is going to offer 10 cores. And yeah, I think that's basically everything. Now in terms of pricing, we should see a price hike because of the redesign, and while we don't have precise pricing details, I am expecting this to be around $1,200. Now let's move on to the most pointless Mac on this list, and that is the base MacBook Pro, because yes, Apple is refreshing that with the M2 chip. But surprisingly, this won't be adopting the design of the 14-inch MacBook Pro. Instead, it's going to be the exact same as the current version, but without a touch bar on the front. Now guys, this makes no sense to me because I just told you about the major redesign and the major new features coming to the MacBook Air, so how come none of that's coming to the base Pro? And while it's going to be a little odd, the base Pro is going to be stuck with this old design, whereas the rest of the MacBook range is going to have newer, thinner designs with a notch on the front. And so yes, Apple, please discontinue this machine. It makes no sense. I think the M2 Air should be fine for most consumers, and we no longer need a base Pro in the lineup since the Air is no longer underpowered with Apple Silicon. And by the way, I have no idea on how pricing is going to work, since I'm pretty sure the Air is going to see a price hike, and well, I doubt that Apple's going to keep the Pro at $12.99 when the Air is $11.99, and so Apple might be forced to push up the price of this Mac, and well, at $1,500 with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, it kinda makes no sense, since by the time you upgrade the RAM and the storage, you're gonna get to the price of the way superior 14-inch MacBook Pro. So yes, once again, I just don't see the point of this Mac, but anyways, let's move on, and the next Mac on the list is the 24-inch iMac. So yeah, this was a complete surprise, but Apple is apparently giving us a new version of the 24-inch iMac in 2022. And to be honest, I guess it makes sense, since the 24-inch iMac was supposed to launch at the end of 2020 alongside the rest of the M1 lineup, but due to production issues with the new design, it had to be pushed back. And so now, without these production hurdles, releasing all these M2 Macs at once together does kind of make sense. But anyways, coming back to the iMac, this is going to be a very minor refresh. Essentially expect the M2 chip, and that's it. Everything else should stay the same. And yeah, Apple does tend to do this with their Macs. They redesign it and keep around that design for a few more years, and knowing the iMac's past, we could see the 24-inch iMac not see a redesign for another decade. So yes, prices and other specs should stay the same. Maybe we see new colors, but yeah, this really is going to be a chip refresh. Actually, no, I do take that back. If there's one upgrade we could see, it's mini LED, because clearly Apple's transitioning the whole Mac lineup to this new tech, and so with the Air getting mini LED, we could see the iMac follow suit. Anyways, we come to the final release, and that is a new version of the base Mac Mini. So we should see the new design with plexiglass on the top. That's going to allow for better Bluetooth and also Wi-Fi. We might also see more ports on the back and the power connector we see from the iMac. But yeah, definitely the main upgrades with this Mac Mini is going to be the M2 chip. And while those are all the M2 Macs we should see launch this year. So tell me in the comments below, guys, which of these Macs are you excited to see? Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the card above on details regarding the iPhone SE 3. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.